Welcome back to another episode of Books and Buds, ladies and gentlemen, where we discuss the books that hit us in a certain way, that we just really love, but for some reason aren't getting the clicks that we think that they should be getting. So that's what we do on this channel. We try to bring attention to the books that we feel you should be reading, and you might just be overlooking. With that said, my very first video that I made in regards to book reviews, I said that I will never leave a bad review. Because I'm a writer myself, guys. I got a book coming out, Corpse Lily, and I know what's going to happen. People are going to leave me bad reviews. It's just par for the course. It's the way it is. I'm a writer. If I have a hard time handling that stuff, then I probably shouldn't be putting my work out there. I got a camera right on me right now. People might comment on here saying I'm a complete jerk. If I can't handle that kind of criticism, I probably shouldn't be on camera. But here I am. So, the reason I'm putting this episode up is because even though I left a positive review for someone who asked me as a favor to review their book for them, they had such a problem with a couple of the issues that I had with the video. Because I don't edit these things, guys. I've got a lot going on. I co-run a business. I got properties. I'm a busy man. I do this because I'm passionate about books. So if I miff it, like in this case, I got not the names of these two particular employees in this book, but their positions in the establishment wrong. In my opinion, it's not that big of a deal. This particular writer could have left a comment in the comment section below correcting my mistake, but instead, this writer decided to contact me on social media, one of the messaging boards, and just completely lambast me and tell me to take it down. I even offered to work with this author, maybe put together a video that could correct these issues, taking time out of my day again. And this was last night. I was like, I'll do this for you because I don't want to anger you. I'm trying to help here. And this writer just demanded that I delete it. Didn't really want to work with me. That's fine. That's fine. But here's the issue, okay? When you attack somebody who leaves you a review, I didn't even leave a bad review. I left a good one, trying to garner this person some sales. You stop that person from ever trying to help you out in the future. I will never pick up another book by this writer, and I will certainly never review another book by this writer. So that's why I'm making this video, because I want to help my fellow writers a little bit, and I never really thought about it, but how do you act when you receive a bad review? In my case, I tried leaving a good one. I admit I miffed on a couple of details, but I left a good review. But normally we're talking about bad reviews here, and it's you want to just attack this reviewer, like how dare you? I spent months, years writing this work, or composing this song, or learning how to act and growing the courage to put myself in front of a camera. Whatever the case may be, you're gonna have critics. How do you handle it? So it was amazing. I'm going to give them a little plug here. I went on Facebook, and there's a group I like called Fiction Writing. I'll give them a little plug. It's run by this guy, Brian. I think his name is Peony. And he runs a pretty fair ship. I actually enjoy them quite a bit, so I went on there, and I'm still getting notifications. I posted this morning asking for people, has this ever happened to you, where you received a negative review, and how did you handle it? And my heavens, I am just getting whaled. So it looks like I have, 95 likes, and it's, gee whiz, over 100 comments. I gotta go through these. But from what I can tell you right now is the general consensus is you just gotta grow a thick skin and ignore it. Because these things are going to happen. If you let it dwell on you, it's going to affect your writing. It's going to affect the way you move forward with your career. I mean, you don't see these major writers going out on social media and saying anything. They don't even talk to their fans. They got so much going on. They can't possibly spend their time responding to everybody. It's just silliness. But you're not going to get to that level unless you learn to let some of these things roll off your shoulders. And as one woman put it in the group, she had mentioned, I don't know if I should mention her name, but I'll just say her first name. Her first name was Sarah, and she was very helpful. She was like, Gordon Ramsay can cook 10 people a meal, Chef Gordon Ramsay. And one out of those 10 people is statistically probably not going to enjoy the meal. Is Gordon Ramsay gonna lambast this person? He's probably gonna say, "Oh, I'm terribly sorry that you didn't enjoy my food." And I always make the argument that the Beatles probably had more critics than fans. What are you gonna do? So that's why I put together this list. I was just shocked, guys, of the 5 things that you can do to make the best of bad reviews. Now, I'm going to admit, I went on writersdigest.com because I just Googled it, and I was surprised. There was a lot of people. There's actually a channel that another gentleman in this group has his own channel. He suggested to me to go to find his solutions to dealing with this stuff. So I'll help you out. It's called JJ Stewart on Writing. So thank you very much, Jason, for suggesting your channel for me. I hope to get you a few clicks. As I watched that, he helped me out too on getting a few ideas. But I was blown away by how many people have issues with this. So when I typed it into Google, I got Writer's Digest that popped right up. This woman named Pamela Jane wrote an article called 5 Tough Tips for Making the Most of Bad Reviews. So I just listed the 5 tips down. And now, of course, this writer gives her own details underneath. She gives her own bullet points underneath each point. But I'm going to give you my own take on these because it's important. So number 1, Pamela says, fight back in positive ways. You know, that's kind of what I'm doing now. I just got a negative review on my review. So instead of yelling at this person, I just said, you know what? I tried helping this individual. And now I'm like, yeah, you know what? Well, maybe I'll help some other writers or some other reviewers and put up a show about it on my channel. So here I am. I'm just making the best of it. So I'm documenting my experience. And hopefully you guys will see the honesty that I'm getting, and hopefully it'll resonate with some of you. Don't let it get to you. So turn it into a positive. And find one thing to laugh about. And that's another thing that I got from this thread I started in fiction writing. I'll leave a link for this group in the comments below. Not in the comments, but in the description below. So I won't mention her name either, but she had mentioned she got a bad review one day because they docked her 1 star because the book wasn't written in their genre. I mean, if that isn't silly, I don't know what is. What are you supposed to just write a book that's magically encompassing of every single genre out there? I mean, what the hell was this particular reviewer thinking? But it's funny. Just laugh about it. What are you gonna do? You can't argue with that. You just can't argue with that kind of a review. Just laugh it off. Other people are probably going to see that review, and it's not going to change their opinion on your book. They'll probably purchase it regardless if the other reviews are decent. So find one thing to laugh about. It just helps you roll it off your shoulders. You know what I'm saying? 3, Pamela writes, write about it. Why the hell not? And no, this is her own point, and it's just solid. So I'm going to use Pamela's point. Madeline L'Angle, now she received another rejection letter. I forget which book it was. She's the writer of A Wrinkle in Time, but in this particular article, she didn't mention that book. It was a rejection letter for another novel she was working on. And of course, she was upset about it, you know. She paced the room, she was sobbing, she was upset. Name me a writer who hasn't gotten some rejection letters and been hurt by it. It's par for the course. It's just the way it is. If you're not prepared to get about 500 to 1,000 rejection letters, you're not prepared to be a writer. I'm sorry. So what did Madeline do? She wrote a book about it. She wrote a book about it, and it was about rejection and failure. It was a book about failing. How brilliant is that? That's something everyone can relate to. If I saw a book, that The Idiot's Guide to Failing Like a Gentleman, I'd probably pick it up like, hey, you know, I bet you there's some useful information in there. So good on Madeline. And obviously she stuck it out, because now she's a very well-known writer, the author of Wrinkle in Time. Very good job for her. So let it roll off your shoulders. Allow yourself some time to feel bad if you gotta, but get back to work. All right, point number 4. Remember, this is just one person. And that goes back to the point that the other writer in the fiction group was saying about Gordon Ramsay, or what the point I was trying to make about the Beatles. They have more critics than fans. What are you going to do? But if you let this one person's opinion stop you, then you're risking everything. If the Beatles had stopped when the first person told them that they didn't like their song, we never would have got Love Me Do. We would have never have got Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. But they realize it's just one person's opinion. Look at all these other people in the crowd that really approve of what we do. Let's continue performing for them. Sure, Gordon Ramsay said the same thing. It's like, well, you know what? This one person didn't like my meal. But everyone else in this restaurant does. And you know what? They're paying the bills. I'm going to keep going. And now he's one of the most popular cooks we have in the world today. So, good on him as well. Number 5, and this is Pamela's final point, is you got to separate feelings from action. It just goes without saying, everybody. You're a writer, or in some cases an actor, or in some cases you're a cook or a musician. You're doing it because you love it. In anything you do in life, if you're trying to get ahead, and you got all these yahoos, which there's plenty of them, sitting there telling you, oh, you're an idiot, you should do it like this, you should do it like that. Guess what? That's their opinion. That's their life. They're not you. The hell with them. What do you care about what they think? Keep doing you, and you'll be like this Madeline woman over here. Madeline Langle. Next thing you know, you're going to be doing what you love for a living, and then you're going to be like Stephen King. You're going to be like Paulo Coelho. You're going to be like J.K. Rowling. You're not going to have time to respond to the people that love you because you're going to be too busy living an amazing life doing what you love for a living. So I'm going to wrap it up with that, everybody. Don't worry about rejection. Don't worry about bad reviews. It's just par for the course. I'm going to leave a link to this Writer's Digest article so you can see what Pamela has to say on her own bullet points. You know what? I'm also going to leave a link to fiction writing because they were really helpful to me today. I never post in the group, but I posted in that group today just to see what other people could say to help me out with this video. And I was, as you can see, blown away by the responses. I got over 100 comments. That's impressive. So, very helpful group. Again, that's fiction writing. It is run by Brian Peony. He is the owner of Scout Media. So look them up. You know what? I like Brian. Good guy. So I'll leave a link for his website, Scout Media, too. Thank you very much for tuning into my station. I hope this helped. You could have chosen over 1,000 book review channels. You chose mine, and I love you for it. Guys, have an awesome day.